Hello, you lovely lot. Adrian Lee. I am with the delightful and beautiful Nicola Light today. We are both going to be with Alexander Quinn at the Heart Gathering in September, September the 13th in Glastonbury. And we're going to have a damn good time there. I first met Nicola when I was doing some gatherings and everybody kept on talking about this Nicola Light. And I'm going, who is she? So when I was holding the meditation groups at Knowlton Church, I thought, no, she's got to come along. I don't know who she is, but she's got to come along. And Nicola came along and did a 15-minute meditation. We have three lots of 15 minutes, and she just blew everyone away. Everybody loved her, and I think she's gone on to bigger and better things, been on different people's shows, and that's why for me, Nicola is going to come to the Heart Gathering in September, do her own piece. Well, I'll let her explain what she's going to be doing. Um, but I know it's going to be pretty special. So for Nicola's audience, my name's Adrian Lee. I guess I'm currently known for being to help people clear their own Akashic records. Um, but obviously we do a lot more than that, bringing all the love to everyone out there and just bringing everybody together in unity and in collaboration. So, and I think the people that obviously like my videos, they know me anyway. So, Nicola, over to
Yes,
you.
yes, I'm Nicola Light. It's quite funny actually, isn't it, when you come up with these names? It's not actually my surname, and I sort of like I'm switching a little bit with my name to Nicola, which actually means freedom for the people, and um, and so my name is starting to shift, although I see myself in the spiritual realm of being Nicola Light. Um, so me, been on a journey for many, many years after being sort of going through the hedges of, you know, of the dark night of the soul, moving through from a real suicidal, really sort of deep night of the soul, whatever it's called now. It's to the energies all over the place. We were just speaking before we came on the call, which we will get onto in a minute. But my journey has brought me into expressing light codes, and for a lot of people that it can be a little bit confusing because it surpasses the mind. It goes right into the depths of us. It's the soul speaking through us, basically. So I code it mainly through my hands, and then but I also bring it forward with voice, and that's what I was doing at the event at Knowlton Church with you. Um, so yeah, I assist people like yourself, Adrian, with heart center, really coming down into the heart, really embodying our journey, and then seeing who we're not to then download the data which we are channeling through to upgrade people's energetic flowing systems. So when I'm at the event with you, with the lovely Alexander, it should be so much fun because he is fun, and I know what you're like. You're beautiful. Um, and I think, like we spoke before, like spirituality needs to be a little bit more upbeat and a little bit more sort of quite childlike in some ways to bring a bit more fun to this earth because at the moment it can be a little bit of a journey. So yeah.
We absolutely need any chance for me to bring my 7-year-old along. I'm there. So yeah, no, we're going to be. Well, we started on it. I guess we're going to be doing some. There's going to be a little bit of music, a little bit of fun, a little bit that might not work, but it'll just work, and we'll just have some fun with it. And of course, we will have some serious stuff like, I'm going to be doing a clearing. You're going to be doing some activation,
Mhm.
and obviously Alexander is going to do his thing. And Alexander, so many people are relying on his information every day. I see how many people are sharing it. So that'll be beautiful as well. But
Yeah.
Nicola, you're more in tune. I know we're getting completely battered
Mm.
by the energies. Well, I shouldn't even say that, but we are. Yesterday, I had to cancel everything.
Wow.
Very disappointed because I did have some client meetings, but I had to surrender to it
Yeah.
and I had to switch off and rearrange. Today is great, but that's the way it's going at the moment. What you're well more in tune with the energies than me. What's going on for you?
Yeah, I think it's sort of like how I see things, and I get really very well guided by my high self. So it's like I intuitively have this understanding. When I wake up in the morning, I know as I speak to myself in the morning, as I rise, I say, okay, high self, what have I got on today then? And it normally is that if I have some clients booked in, it's normally that I'm going to be vibrating at a real high frequency. And it's almost like I can sort of supersede and surf the undercurrents of the energies coming in onto the earth. And when you're in that sort of realm of understanding, you are more of this sort of galactic aspect of yourself, and you're very much less of the ego. So I can really be switched on, really sort of coast it and sort of like, sort of do my surfing. And and it's it's wonderful. So I high vibe around, hardly eat a thing, might have a little bit of sip of water now and again, but mostly in this sort of bubble within this space, which is a wonderful space. And sometimes you get orbs sort of fly by with the darker sort of coloured painting. You'll get fairies flying left, right, and centre in this room. And so I create myself this little bubble, and so I can surf it most of the time. But if I'm going into a deep emotional state, then I will plummet down, and I would have to switch off like yourself. I would have to go eat chocolate, fish and chips, jacket potatoes, sort of type of energy. So I really sort of move with the energy on how my frequency is, and then how I counterbalance with it. But if I'm in the depth of it, I honor it. I get deep down and dirty with my emotions so I can create more space so that
Well,
I
it
can fly high.
it sounds like unfortunately I get into the depths of it and do reach for the chocolate and fish and chips. But unfortunately, I wish I could do what you do, is reach for the water. Some days are like that, but yeah. So everybody take notes. You're not alone, and
Yeah,
I think that's the whole point right now.
yeah.
Anybody I talk to, whatever frequency they're, it's affecting them on so many levels. And I'm actually been today with someone who's been doing this stuff for 30 or 40 years, and she said, even I'm being affected today, and we know that that's big stuff because
Mm,
she's just not being affected. So
mm.
roll with it, isn't it? Roll with it, embrace
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and honor it.
Yeah, and honor it. And I think the thing is that, and I harp about this on my YouTube channel all the time, and people must be going like, here she goes again, is I nag continuously about keeping your energy flowing. Okay. Because when we keep our energy flowing, then when there's the bombardment of energy moving through us, you're so clear that it just runs through. Okay.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you're sitting still and you're just on the computer all the time and you're not moving around, you're not getting a wiggle on with that spinal column, that central column of light, if you're not connecting, if you're not doing breath work, and stretching a little bit here and there, then you're not honoring the body. And what's not being able to be surfing, getting up on that surfboard with these waves of energy, is that the body's not in balance.
yeah,
So the more that you can have a practice or a perceived practice, however that looks
yeah,
like, whether it's sit under a tree or whatever it does, go into meditation, go for a swim, go lay in the bath, whatever it is to have something that you will align the energy of the physical body to move with the energetic bodies. And when you can do that, it's less
yeah.
of an issue. It really is. I had a client yesterday that she was like, I'm in so much pain. It was our first call together, and honestly, I was like, oh my God, it's so good that you've got these pains running down your spine. She looked at me as if I was so really narcissistic and and she was sort of like, oh, I got it in my neck, right at the back of my neck, and it's going down into my small of my base, and my fingers are hurting. I was like, fabulous, that's really good. Because your body's showing you that there's blocks that's running down your system that you need to release. And if you know you need to release it because the body's flagging it up, then release it. So we did some codes. She messaged me this morning, said she has no back pain whatsoever.
Awesome.
And those codes really got in there and worked it through. She released it and then she started coding. She activated her light codes because her body was ready for her to express the codes through herself. And how amazing is that? So,
What do you mean by she started coding? Because a lot of people won't know what you mean.
okay. So when the soul expresses itself through the physical body and the five senses, so we see ourselves in physicality through our five senses, yeah. The physical body will react to the energy that's coming in. So the level of consciousness will start to want to express itself through the body. And you might start sort of all of a sudden might want to just sort of do this. Okay, that's really simple. Like you just want to, it's like we do it ourselves, don't we? Like, oh, I'm all flushed. And we move the energy with our hands. And as the energy comes through, we can move. But when we activate, ignite our light codes, the hands start to make nice little shapes in our energetic field. And with that, it sort of releases and almost like flicks off energy. Um, she started getting eye flutters and the body started reacting. So her journey now will be, well, okay, understanding what she's actually going through with the interaction with her body by expressing that light frequency through her.
Yep,
And then some people may then start speaking it spontaneously, like I did. You just
yep,
sit up and like just start speaking this really weird
yep.
code in language or whistles or even breath. And so there's a lot of people that are starting to
Cool,
ignite their codes, which I think
cool.
is so healing, you know?
I love that, and I love how so easily people can move quickly. They can progress through something, like having a personal session, or even just doing something like you was just saying there. I My intention every day is to go for a swim at 7 o'clock in the morning at the local pool, and when I do,
Mm.
I have a much better day. There's no question. And when I do that little qigong exercise, which is only like 9 minutes, and when I do that in the morning, I have a much better day.
Yeah.
But like you say, when you don't do those things,
Yeah.
that's when your body and you sit because you've got so much to do. You sit down at your laptop and
Mm.
you're stagnant. You've got to. I really should do that 9 minutes throughout the day as well. So, and I think it's really important to say to if people are feeling this, again, you're not alone.
Mm.
We all slip from our practice now and again, and
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's sort of
yeah,
like a reminder, isn't it? You know, we are human and sometimes we get in these little comfy little zones within ourselves and we get distracted with our humanness and it's okay. Sometimes I don't do it. And then when I go to bed at night, then I wake up like 3 o'clock in the morning because my body wants to sort of shape the energy through me. And then my legs feel like they're restless and I start wanting to sort of like, oh, I can't sleep because I've not run my energy. So because I'm so sensitive to that energy flow, and we're all getting more sensitive to the energy flow, we need to just have that mindfulness of, okay, before I go to bed, I'm just going to do downward dog and, happy baby. Do you know what I mean? Just
just before you go to bed. Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
So yeah, before you jump in, or even if you're laying on bed, just sort of
Yeah.
stick your legs
Yeah.
up in the air and
Yeah.
get your
Yeah.
legs kicking about. It's
Yeah.
it's so simple, but it's not. Do you know what I
You
mean?
just you've got to integrate it into your day. And I
Yeah.
found when I was doing 1.5 hours of practice quite a number of years ago, I would just get up. I didn't try and integrate it into my day because I wouldn't do it. So I had to get up earlier and then do it before I started my day. And
Mm.
that for me really is probably the only way to really get on any practice, which is going to help us through these current energy times.
Yeah,
For me
definitely.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
a bit of yoga, a bit of like you say, and a friend of mine calls it the Holy Trinity. But anyway, um,
So
what are
within
you
your, sorry.
what are you going to be talking about at the
Yeah.
I know what you're going to be talking about, but please tell everyone.
Yeah, what I want to talk about is a little bit of knowledge about light language. So I just sort of touched on it a little bit there
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's a lot of fear that goes with the unknown.
yeah,
Okay. If you're
yeah,
expressing light codes, then it's nice and easy because you're expressing in through the experience, you understand it through that journey of it. But if you're not if you're really unsure about it, you're like, oh, I don't like that. And I've had so many people sort of like, oh, you don't want to listen to light codes. You don't know what that means.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
because the light's shining on the fear that you don't want
Mm,
to accept your
mm,
own fear within inside of yourself, that the codes will
mhm.
shine it right in your face. So we have to sort of have an awareness of actually, well, what do codes do? How do you receive the codes so that you can push through the fear to release that shadow, release it all. So what I want to talk about really is about how to receive codes so that when I bring some codes in, and I'm sure Alexander will also bring some codes in with me, hopefully, which will be a nice little treat. Um, is that how to receive it and to place those intentions in and to move the physical body if it needs to come in. So I'm going to sort of like just educate people a bit from my own perspective and the power of light codes.
Yeah,
You know, I would not be where I am at without my codes. I've coded myself through all of my remembrance and everything that I present to people to help them with their understanding of their own codes is purely through my own coding.
yeah,
So I've released codes, I've activated myself, and I can interpret codes as well. So I get divine guidance through my codes. So I just wanted to sort of help people understand from a
yes.
mind position what it's all about. So that's my main objective.
Because because light language has come around, definitely in the last few years. Is
Mm,
There's definitely more and more people doing it, and but I don't, like you say, I don't actually think many people really understand it.
yeah,
So you'll be doing an informative bit
yeah,
before you then go on to give anybody who's there an experience of the coding of
mm,
the light language, and then I think you and Alexander are going to be doing something together,
yes,
which will be also the fun element as well, also
yeah,
with the guitar. And
yeah,
we're getting together next weekend
yeah,
to have a little go at that.
yeah.
I know it's 5 months off, but we're excited.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. So I'm in Sweden at the moment, so anybody that's sort of on your channel sort of understanding. So I'll be flying over with my new partner to Glastonbury, and we're all going to meet up at a beautiful friend's house in Glastonbury and then have a little bit of a fun time practicing the
absolutely.
project, shall we say, that we're going to bringing in. So it'll be so much fun to do that this weekend, next weekend.
Fun and joyful for sure, to be
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
And if anybody for your people that follow you,
Mm,
um, I will be doing there's always some sort of clearing or healing.
mm,
Um, I've actually taken a little bit of time out to really understand what my higher soul can help other people's higher souls with. So we're going to be doing a clearing, but it definitely will involve everything to do with love. So and the heart. So we are in so-called heart chakra of the world. So we'll be doing that. You'll be getting a lovely clearing
yeah,
and a lovely healing around the heart
yeah.
to bring all that love, which is exactly where we're all going right now.
Oh,
And
absolutely. And I
and
think that that's sort of like, the evolution of the humanity is for us to all see that come on, get out of your heads and settle into your heart.
yeah,
And then without judgment of anybody else, just be open to receive what is maybe a little bit different for you to sort of broaden your perspective on, the whole of the reality that's starting to unfold for us.
yes, yes, yes,
If
yes,
we sort of
yes,
connect, start connecting to our sort of angelic self, our multidimensional aspect self, our galactic self, and we judge somebody for something that's this, maybe light codes or whatever it is that when when the galactics come and land on the land, then we go like, oh, look at that galactic. They have, funny pointy ears or whatever. We got to get past this sort of
all of it. Yeah,
separation and come together. And I think that's what your beautiful mission and abilities and heartfelt energy that just oozes from you, Adrian, is that
bless you.
beautiful community and empowering people to do it themselves and to,
Absolutely,
and to
absolutely,
bring us together
absolutely,
in a
absolutely.
community.
I'm the half of the reason people will come is not just to get all of this beautiful clearing and activation and listening to Alexandra, and they're going to get the music as well, but actually half of it is actually just people being together in the room.
Yes.
Because I know, even from my Knowlton church days, we're only 3 years ago, the friendships that have made that they didn't know each other and then they sat next to each other and then they went off and did something together or they worked together, long life, that's what happens. And I'm getting tingles as I say this is what happens at these events. And yeah, and obviously we would like to stay in that energy every day. So yeah, I'm really looking forward
Yeah, definitely.
to that
This is
to those tingles.
Yeah, I got tingles as you were speaking about it as well, and it's like that resonance of energy is that the universe is calling us to come together.
Yeah,
And so if that's, if it's sort of virtually like this and this now moment, and for those that are watching, or whether it's actually coming together in person, which is even more
yeah,
powerful.
yeah,
But it's in person, out of the old co-vidious times
yeah, yeah,
into like coming together. We must come together in community, and I'm so looking forward to the energy that's going to be created,
yeah, yeah,
especially in Glastonbury, and with
yeah,
Matt Bell going up the tour in the evening as well, and bringing that energy for Gaia.
yes,
Ultimately, we are caretakers for this world,
yes,
and once we see ourselves in that beautiful light and from our heart, then it's all going to just ooze out across those grid works all the way across the world.
yes.
It's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it.
And yeah, and as we're talking about it, I feel the energy. I don't know about it, it just feels really exciting. And thank you for bringing up Matt. Matt Bell has a connecting with your star family protocol. So for anybody who doesn't know, he has this protocol where you and it does help if it's a clear night, but you can do it even if it's not a clear night. It's you can connect with your star family and you literally can start communicating with your star family. So
Mm.
Matt Bell's coming along, and for anybody who is interested after the official event ends, you can go up the tour, um, and have a pleasant evening connecting with star family, and it is magical.
Yeah.
When I first did it, that I was over with Matt. That was probably about 3 years ago as well.
Mm.
Everything happened 3 years ago in my life, and then I flew out to Portugal the next day, and I was house sitting. And fortunately, they've got a hot tub, and I was with a really dear friend of mine, and we did the protocol for the first time together without Matt. And within seconds, we had two shooting stars come across. Absolutely magical. I can't promise shooting stars, but it does work. So
My God.
and all the stars anyway.
Yeah.
He's the expert.
Wonderful.
Um,
Mm, mm, mm.
what else? I think well, anything else from you?
Yeah, okay, let me just tap in. Kia anda agira macchiata na asi macchiata da asia macchiata. It's like what I'm getting here, I'm getting a bit of a download of information, my eyes start to flutter. Okay, let me just check in with the universe and see what what they want to say up there. Kia da waribisia macchiata. It is the meeting of the hearts. It is everybody having the same intention for the rising of the community. So supporting everybody, whether they're on the beginning of their journey or whether they're at their heights and moving still forward and onwards and upwards. It is about the up leveling within the group, within the vibration of the group that will assist all to rise together. Thank you. It is rising together. We do not leave anybody out. We may
Yeah,
cede if somebody's not ready, but at the same time, we hold space for those people. But if you're within that that realm of understanding, we rise through heart to heart connection. So yeah, so that's what I would like to leave this beautiful conversation to be.
Beautiful. I think we just leave it there. I just
Yeah,
think let's leave it there, and I'm sure we'll meet a few more times before September comes.
yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
so to everyone out there,
Mhm.
enjoy and embrace these energies, and
Yeah,
do a bit of movement.
do a bit of movement. Do a bit of movement. Just before we do actually sign off, can you just sort of let everybody know what your website is so that if anybody wants to sort of felt into your energy and was like, oh my God, I need to contact Adrian.
Bless you. Thank you, Nicola. So adrianleeenergy.com. I've had a little bit of a rest. I do have a free clearing and surrender online event on the 29th, if anybody's
Amazing.
want to come along to that.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
you, Nicola?
Yes, I'm nicolalight.com, so nice and easy. I've actually got a new website coming online, so
Woo!
that's really nice. Um, so yeah, so you can sort of connect with me there, and I've got a YouTube channel as well for those that don't know me. And you've got a YouTube channel as well, haven't you?
I do, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
Adrian Lee.
It's Adrian Lee Energy. It's everything's
Yeah,
Adrian Lee Energy because
cool.
buying Adrian Lee was too expensive. So I had to add the energy. But anyway, never mind.
Yeah, lovely. Thank
Bless
you
you.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you. This has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you to everyone who's been listening in. See
Yeah,
you very soon.
thank you
Lots of
so
love.
much. See you soon. Bye.